Hello, welcome to Ring Takes episode. I think this is 4 by now, and we're on our way to the Elimination Chamber, which is this Saturday, I believe. We're going to be going over that, going over the matches leading into that. Of course, I'm joined by Brian and Lewis. How are you guys?
Yeah, doing real good tonight, man. Blessed to be alive.
It just got me drained, but still here.
You guys got the kiddos, man. You guys got to make sure they're good, man.
Future wrestlers.
We're gonna
yeah.
Especially
my son jumping on me, grabbing me, scratching me and stuff. Yeah, definitely.
I should take a video of my son. My son was what was it? I think it was on Friday when the Usos were on. And he was just like, ooh, so I was like, yes. Like, learn it. Learn it now.
Nice.
Grain it into your brain.
Mm-hmm.
When he's 18, it. Performance center. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into our Raw recap. Nah, man, I'm telling you, that's how it starts, man. You start seeing them tag teams on TV, man. People saw the Rockers, Demolition, all of them. The Mega Powers when they got going with Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, the Rockers, Orient Express, Hard Foundation. So that's how it starts, man. And especially you guys didn't catch the Usos when they had like the high colors. Like they were wearing bright colors like bright green and pink and yellow.
Pink, yeah.
Like when they first, I remember those days. When
like when they first came
to the Samoan War dance at their entrance.
Yeah.
That's how I first saw them.
So, yeah, man. Like that's when they found they had the high colors, man. All right, but let's get into our Raw recap. A whole bunch of stuff happened on Raw. Start off with Brock and Lesnar confirmed after a couple weeks of promos that just happened out of nowhere since the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar calls out Bayley Lashley. They have this stare down of basically going back and forth. Lashley actually gets the upper hand, spares Lesnar on the stage, and then signs the contract and puts it on him. That's going to be a high impact. What do you guys think of that going down on Raw in the past couple of weeks and how this has kind of been built? Like we kind of know it's this two monster guys going at each other right now, really pinning up their way to get to WrestleMania. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, if I want to start, Lashley as a heel is so much better than Lashley as a face. That's one thing that no matter where Bobby Lashley was, whether it was WWE or Impact, he was always better as a heel. Like babyface Bobby Lashley just doesn't cut it for me, doesn't cut it for a lot of people. But you got, and I think this is definitely leading to the Hurt business coming back. I think this is exactly where this is going. I really do hope so. Well, it really was a very hard act, but Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley gets the upper hand, and definitely looks like a huge collision course we're headed towards at Elimination Chamber, and we'll get into it with our match predictions. But it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it. And originally, I was one of the people who initially thought that this match shouldn't even be happening. Because I think they should just save the third match for me. But that's gonna go into my match prediction. So go ahead, Lewis.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I do think Bobby Lashley is better as a heel, but I don't know, that last run with the US title, like he was like, I don't know, I feel like he naturally became like a baby face without like pushing it too hard. He was just like a fucking beast, and I thought that was like a good, but obviously in this scenario against Brock, who's super over with all the joking and saying funny ass shit, like he has to be the heel in the situation. I think this match is going to be like I don't know why, but I feel it's going to be a squash match. Not a squash match in the sense of like someone's getting squashed, but in the sense that honestly the match might not even happen, and they just like destroy the arena, and then the real fight happens at WrestleMania. That's what I feel, because
Awesome.
because they're two big dudes, and they have like a legit wrestling match that should be safe for WrestleMania. Like that's easily should be on the card. This I feel is either one, they're going to set up the Hurt Business, and then he'll have the Hurt Business for WrestleMania, or you know, they just fucking go at it and don't even go in the ring, and they're just like going around the stadium and shit. They're like, all right, we're gonna do this type of match at WrestleMania, whatever it is, steel cage, no holds barred, whatever. I think that's where I think it's gonna go.
Yeah. It's very similar to So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Daniel, but it's very similar to when when the Shield had just broken up and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose were feuding, and Seth and Dean had a match scheduled for the next pay-per-view, but at that pay-per-view it was literally just like 4 segments of them beating the crap out of each other backstage, which led to their eventual match. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much gonna be the same thing.
Possibly. I think, as you guys said, I think Bobby Lashley is better as a heel. I can't really think of him being a face since probably his first run in WWE. Like when he won the United States title and when he was going up against Vince with the ECW title, and when he had that match against John Cena at the Great American Bash all of those years ago. You know, so like, yeah. Ironically, a Trump guy, right? But just looking at his past history, seeing him being able to transform into a heel like that, so naturally just basically gives kudos to Bobby Lashley that he can play any role, right? Like what Lewis said when he had the U.S. title, he was naturally getting over, just having good matches, being a beast, being a big guy, actually celebrating with the fans and stuff like that. So it's like he's able to play both roles. So that's been good to see. And then Lesnar, who comes in here, who has been able to play both roles as we've seen over the past couple of years. It's over right now. So it's okay. It's naturally to put him as the face right now and have him lead that as the baby face in this role right now. But these are just two monsters that are just going to go at each other. I strongly agree, guys. I could see this ending in disqualification at Elimination Chamber. It's possible they could go that way, but I don't know. I mean, these are two guys kind of like really outside. What else do they have going on for each other outside of them trying to get to the title picture, right? Like these are two guys that are main event guys that should be in the title picture. They're kind of just colliding with each other. And I really don't see any holding pattern changing. So I could see this going on to Mania, right? Hopefully not in a fight pit match. I don't want that. But there's definitely be I think it's in the cards, right? Like it could possibly happen.
They're both skilled. They're both technically skilled enough for it to work. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the possibility that could happen, right? But yeah, I just love the impact that Lashley had actually getting upper hand, because as Lewis said the last episode, every single time we saw Lashley, he was just getting F5 by Lesnar every time, right? Like every single time, just getting F5. It's like, all right, so what do you win this matchup? Are you just a whipping boy, or are you actually going to get some offense? To see him actually kind of outsmart Lesnar and get the upper hand on that and sign the contract saying, hey, I signed it. That's awesome to see from Bobby Lashley. And it's actually it piqued my interest on this match. It's like at first I wasn't too into it because it's like we already saw this before. We don't know which way this is going to go, but now they actually have some back and forth, some impact going on. It's like, okay, now we got some little intrigue here that actually makes me want to see this match they're going. So that's good for these two guys going forward. We can keep moving on to Cody and Sami finally meeting in the ring. Like this is something that they have kept apart for a couple weeks now, and Sami just getting over by week to week. Cody's getting over by week to week. They meet in the ring. Cody Rhodes basically says finish his fight. Basically, that's been his whole story since he's came back into WWE, and also telling Sami Zayn to finish his fight. Sami Zayn basically turning the WWE on his head for the past year with his work in the Bloodline. Now he's a outlasting babyface right now, and the crowd is behind him. Everyone's behind him, but they're also behind Cody Rhodes. So what do you guys think about that promo on Monday night of them coming together and basically acknowledging each other?
You can go ahead, Bruce.
That was a great promo. I love me a Sami Zayn promo. Like when he gets really into it and so and I don't know, he's one of the few people right now who can really cut a promo, and Cody there is crazy because it's like you have the two sides. You have Cody who's kind of like given the giant return. Yes, he had the big injury, but what he did and everything, it's put him up so high. But then you have Sami who's just like fucking just come out the ground and could easily just be in that is in that title picture right now and could like easily headline WrestleMania. But there's a lot of moving pieces, and I mean, it's like teasing the possibility of like it just has everybody thinking, could this be a triple threat? Is it just are they just gonna run through Sami and then just do Roman and Cody? And even I was thinking about it, which is I think is way far. I was like, okay, imagine having Sami win the Elimination Chamber, then you free up Roman Reigns, and then shocker, The Rock actually comes back, and then you have those two, Cody, Sami, Rock. I feel like that's a very wishful thing. Not even wishful thing. I don't even know if I want that to happen, but it's a situation where it's very unlikely it'll happen. But I don't know. It's got me guessing a lot, and there's so many scenarios. I just hope they don't fuck it up. I hope they don't. I don't know. It's like if Sami loses, it's like it has to be done in a way that he doesn't get buried or just get lost in the shuffle, because what he's been doing right now is too good. And he could easily have his Daniel Bryan moment, Kofi Mania moment. It's just, are they going to pull the trigger and let him get there, or are they just going to, keep the original plan and have Cody in there and Cody Roman and just call it a day?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about how great this promo was, because they literally can go in a plethora of different directions with the story. Sami in this baby face, he really is connected with the crowd, and then you have Cody, he has his own story. You got the real story of Cody Rhodes and the family with the organic story and the best storyline of the year with the bloodline. So you got these two great stories, and the kind of like the sympathetic character in Sami Zayn with the kind of based upon name, the chosen one in Cody Rhodes in the ring, and they're doing exactly what I asked them to do from last week when I had stated that they have to be careful when they're booking this, to be sure these guys kind of aren't like stepping on each other's toes. And with that promo, having both of them in the ring, they definitely didn't do that. So I'm really looking forward to this match with him and Roman to see how the story advances. And it really was a great promo. Yeah.
I mean, it just, to me, Sami Zayn can hang on that level, right? In terms of what we know, Cody Rhodes is the star right now. He left and came back and built himself to be a bigger star. But it's also showing Sami Zayn can hang on that level, right? That he can be in the ring with those guys as well. We've seen it with Roman, how he's went at Roman in those promos and how he's interacted in the ring. Like, Sami Zayn can hang with these guys, right? So to think that they can even possibly be in a triple threat, I think Sami can fit in there. I don't think that's going to ruin the prestige of the match. I think it's only going to add to it, because we also know Sami Zayn has also built himself up over the past couple of years as one of the best wrestlers in the world. We know his pedigree is El Generico if you're on the indie scene, but everybody a little bit of everything, right? Like, you get the history with Roman Reigns, you get the Rhodes. You get the prestige of Roman Reigns, you get the prestige of Cody Rhodes, but you also get this underdog mentality of Sami Zayn coming into it. And I think that there's room for everybody, right? I don't think there's going to be a way that you can sit there and have always be a heel versus face. At some point, the good guys have to face each other. To me, that's where I'm seeing with this Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, like, even whatever the case may be down the line with WrestleMania, it's like you can have multiple guys be contenders that are baby faces. Like, that's what wrestling is. Like, you're supposed to have multiple guys being able to contend. And I think that this only speaks to the strength of the roster right now, because Sami Zayn is not the typical guy that you see on that main event level, but he's able to tiptoe in there and be able to hang in there. And I think that's a good way you can show Sami Zayn with Cody Rhodes and vice versa. And then you get on this Saturday when he faces Roman Reigns, how that's going to look. That's a big test for even Sami Zayn, not just for him, but for other guys on the roster. Like who else is going to get called up to be in the main event scene, right? So this promo was just awesome. I love that these two guys are acting with each other. It's going to be interesting to see how they go forward towards Elimination Chamber, because we still have SmackDown coming up. Excuse me. But yeah, with Elimination, that's a big test for Sami Zayn, not only for him, but I think for the future of wrestling, right? Like, who else can you call up and be in that main event picture along with Cody Rhodes and other guys like that? So just building out this roster and just showing that, hey, we can call Sami Zayn up to be in that position. I think that's awesome for that going forward, that whole storyline going forward, and especially for Sami Zayn. Yeah, I just think those guys have a lot. As Brian said, this storyline is just telling all points. And now, when you think about it, it was the bloodline, and now you add Cody Rhodes into it. This is just getting good. It's better, and these guys are able to ring and able to deliver like that on a promo like that. This is just gold right now. This is just gold.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what's next.
I'll continue moving on. We'll continue moving on. Asuka stands tall. It was Asuka, Carmella, and Nikki Cross versus Natalya, Liv Morgan, and Marquez in the triple 3-on-3 tag match. Asuka basically clears out everybody, even her own teammates, and stands tall, which I thought was totally badass as an Asuka fan. But to see her just be able to knock down everybody and just remain supreme on everybody, making Liv Morgan tap out with the armbar. What are you guys' thoughts on that, especially heading into the chamber?
It's about damn time with Asuka, right? Right, Daniel? Yeah, this is definitely the whole presentation of this new character, the face paint, the outfit, the entrance, the new music, everything, the entire package. Yeah, it's quite honestly, it's quite easily you can see that this is who they're going with at WrestleMania. Like it's so obvious right now, right? Asuka, her taking everybody out and the manner that she did it, and she's gonna have the elimination. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but she's gonna have quite the performance at the Elimination Chamber, and yeah. Go
ahead. I'm a big fan of Asuka, just like you guys both are, and I watched her all through NXT, the whole reign, and obviously how they handled it, I was not a fan of. And then she was just kind of in limbo for like a few years, kind of had the title here and there, tag titles, whatever. But to bring a change, I am very happy. And it's crazy because she hasn't even cut a promo yet. She's literally she had one promo and she's just like creepingly looked at, who was it? Carmella, I think.
Doesn't need to.
The miss, and it's like, no, and that's how good she is, though, because just on her skill. The only thing with the chamber is just like, I feel this, like like Brian just said, it kind of makes it kind of obvious that she's gonna win, because out of everybody in the chamber, it's like, who are you gonna pick? But this also shows that you can't. I don't know. I feel like leading up to this, you got to make more people look strong. I guess at least 2 other people or something, because when you look at everybody who's in there, you're like, well, I think we know who's gonna win now. But I still love that they. But even though they're making her really strong, it's probably a good thing, because she's gonna have to fight Bianca anyway. And Bianca needs a strong opponent right now. So
yes,
especially, and she needs a strong opponent. Of course, I love that she was just badass, kicking ass, and this whole new character is going to probably lead to a more side. I don't know if she's going to turn heel like we're all suggesting, or maybe that we're insinuating that we think that she's going to turn heel. But she's so badass right now and really just kicking ass. And it's like she's like in her 40s and still kicking ass. It's like, yo, that's dope. Like just to see her continue to perform at a high level. But as you guys said, as to the chamber, it's like, as you guys said, the only other person that I think could possibly stand the chamber is just her size, stuff like that. They can play up to that. But in terms of like the other competitors, it's like we've talked about Natalya being in there. It's like she should not be in there. And I thought that's what they're doing when Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey came there and attacked her arm. Mm-hmm. And it's like she shows no effect of that on Raw, like, which is just like just another thing. It's like I thought they were going to continue to damage her there. You know what I mean? But it's like it's just like right now Asuka's basically the hot hand right now, and from her Rumble return lead up to the Elimination Chamber, it's kind of clear that she's probably going to be the one heading on to WrestleMania, right? Like we can probably already see that unless there's some type of swerve that actually happens. But I'm going with Asuka. But let's continue into our other match of the night, where Bianca basically denied Bayley and Becky's entrance into the Elimination Chamber, which was interesting to me because, as you guys said, the field isn't as strong in there in the Elimination Chamber. So to see these two be denied that by the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, it's like, wow, that's like crazy. So it was a great match. Lots of moving parts happening. Bianca looking awesome in the ring, getting things done. Bayley taking the pinfall, which I wasn't happy with, but they're not going to book Becky weak right now. What do you got, man? Hey, I'm just tired of Bayley always taking the pin. I'm just tired of that.
No, same. I've been a big Bayley fan, but this, I don't know. It's like this heel run. They've made her look so weak. And like you said, it's like fall after fall after fall after fall after fall. Yes, we get it. You're a heel, but I feel like she's getting like I feel like she's getting like the Miz treatment almost. Like, yes, I'm the best. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, give me opportunity, and then boom, you lose. But it's like the same
every time
thing every time, and it's like at some point, who's even? Yeah, you can only bank on your accolades for so long. Like, what are you doing now? You know. And I don't know where they're going. Because they can't just leave this Bayley Becky feud to keep going to WrestleMania. It's going to be boring. I feel it's already kind of getting a little stale. They're just like jabbing at each other for like what? Like you guys aren't fighting for the title now, even more so. So it's like, do each of them like take somebody out of the chamber and get themselves back in there or some shit? I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny because when I saw the segment and it was going in that direction, I'm thinking, okay, they're definitely taking somebody out, and I'm thinking, okay, and then you got Natalya and Carmella, they coming out, right? Okay, this is gonna be good.
I wish.
That's both adds to the prestige of the match.
It would, because you would have a stacked elimination.
Well, that's another thing too, right? So, like, I mean. Like, why not? We only have one winner, right? Like, why not make the Elimination Chamber be memorable? Why not make it be awesome? That's another thing I'm thinking. It's still Saturday to come. We still don't know what's going to happen on SmackDown this Friday. But it's like, damage can last 3 people. Why aren't you guys taking anybody out? That should be like, you guys should be trying to get your leader into the chamber. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't like what they're doing with this faction. It's like,
and when are they ever going to defend those titles?
WrestleMania.
Against who? There's no tag teams.
Pre-show.
The pre-show.
The word going around is that they're defending them against Ronda and Shayna.
If that's the case,
if that's happening, that's not happening on the pre-show.
You know what? Bring me back Billy Kay and Peyton Royce.
Facts. I love Billy Kay. Kay. I thought she was hilarious. But she was the whole resume thing, Peyton Royce, like they were
That
Like
was a
right when they're
legit
clicking,
tag
they
team.
break them up.
That was a
Yeah,
legit
yeah,
tag.
I'll never understand what the whole point of breaking them up was. Like I don't. Yeah, it's just
that's just Vince because he was breaking up all the tag teams. Vince was just breaking up all the tag teams at that point.
Putting random ones together.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, you're gonna be together for a year. Like this is not working. We do not need this. But yeah, if they're gonna face Ronda and Shayna, who have beat 0 tag teams and have done thing. I mean, I guess you put on the titles on 2 badasses. I guess that's the answer for that division, and then you just have them be dominant and kick everyone's ass, and you try to build a tag team. Maybe that's what they do. But
and it's
crazy. In terms of the chamber,
it's
like I feel like James.
Didn't the last chamber? Didn't Shayna like dominate everybody and take everybody out? You tell me you can't have.
That's what I was going to say about it because I was pissed because she defeated Asuka so easy. She choked out Asuka so easy. I'm like, give me a.
Have the rematch in the chamber
like, again. Like I don't get what they are doing. Two people got to get taken out. People got to get taken out because that's the only way that can get better. Like that, I feel like that match has, and especially when you got a lot of women and are not in there that have so much prestige and so much fanfare. Even if it's Shayna Baszler, even if it's Ronda Rousey, like put them in the chamber at least, at least win or lose, whatever. Just to ask the prestige to see Carmella in there. I don't need to see Natalya in there.
Even Lacey Evans, I would rather you're building her up, put her in the chamber, like something. I don't even like her character that much.
I kind of lost interest in Lacey Evans. Too many of these start and stops with her character changing and stuff. Like I gave up on them. Like you said, they keep repackaging her too much already within like 2 months. So I'm good.
But physically, she actually like looks the part. So I don't care where she's at now. But like, get Carmella and Natalya out of there. Like they're not gonna be champs again anytime soon.
But
no, that's not gonna happen.
But the one thing that I find interesting, I think I said this during the first episode. I mean, you got Bayley and you got Becky Lynch. Those 2 names alone, this feud is supposed to feel bigger because these 2 are the 4 horsewomen. Any combination of those 4 that's in the feud is supposed to feel huge with all the matches that they've had together and the history between them. And you don't get that feel with this feud. It hasn't been that way. You would think with including Damage Control in there that maybe things would be different, but they've been kind of in the background, haven't been doing much. Like we said, haven't been defending the tag team titles. It's just like this feud is disappointing. And then Lita saves the day last week. No mention of her this week. Maybe they're saving it for the chamber. We'll see. I
think they're rumbling a little bit. Maybe this is just a rumor out there. I think they're trying to get Trish Stratus and Lita to challenge for the tag titles at WrestleMania. I think that's what the angle they're going to try to go.
That actually would be hot. That would be hot.
That makes more sense.
Maybe bring some prestige.
Just to have Lita return like that with no. Yeah, just to have Lita return with nothing talking about. Like it's just random. Like I think she faced Becky Lynch like in Saudi Arabia. That's the title when Becky was on her heel run. So it's like that was like almost a year ago. So it's like to have her come back and save her. It's like okay, respect factor, whatever the case is. That's still long, right? Naturally, Trish Stratus is Lita's friend. Famers. So I mean, I'm not mad. The division needs something.
That would be better though, because if they win it at Mania, then you can actually maybe establish a tag team, and who would actually once they beat them, then you're like, okay, these are the people who beat Lita and Trish, even though it's whatever, but it would still give them some you're gonna have some type notoriety, something. But
unfortunately, they could do the classic Vince McMahon booking of Trish and Lita win the titles at WrestleMania, and then they lose them the next night on Raw.
Basically. Basically. They're not going to be full-time stars.
Yeah. They did it to Zack Ryder when he won the Intercontinental title.
Worst.
Got himself over, one in front of his dad, and everything was hype.
Exactly, yeah. Just to lose the next
Took it all the way.
Took a picture
Took it all the way.
Next season.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Took it all away from that man. That's crazy. That was Dallas WrestleMania, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah.
32 in Dallas. Yeah.
They need to bring back that IC title.
32,
IC title.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think he's gonna come back soon. He's got to come back soon.
Yeah.
His wife is there. He's got to come back. He's so dim. It's like he's got to come back. He's got to.
And even
hopefully they don't book him like Eli Drake or EC3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had high hopes for EC3. But yeah, I don't like what they're doing to his. I don't know. I don't like what they're doing to his wife. She's too like gimmicky. Mind you, I don't know her work like that. So, but for you just to come in and already be losing, it's like, so you're just gonna be a jobber, I guess. Like, that's it.
I mean, I don't know you paying your dues, but they can't make her look as fluky as she is. That's my. Yeah, you can't have her lose like that. Build any credibility.
Yeah.
But that does it for our